So much of our work is focused on food insecurity, on social justice, and on community building. And we've found ways to plug into all those things and to achieve certain goals within those areas.
The produce that we get from Garden City Harvest comes to us at a price that we could not find on the open market. And so it's this no-brainer to support local, sustainable growing.
It's become a part of our personal lives.
We grow thousands and thousands of pounds of food every year that we make accessible to others in the community, regardless of income and other barriers. We started with 2 sites doing 2 specific things. One was growing food for the food bank. The other was teaching people to grow their own food.
The Missoula Food Bank is Missoula's first defense against food insecurity for families and individuals here in this community. Today we had about 100 families that came through. Last year, more than 21,000 separate individuals came through our store. That's about 1 out of every 5.5 people who live in this county.
Today we also have a really robust farm-to-school program where we work with kids kindergarten through college and help them make connections between local farming and the food that they eat.
We have about 8,900 students in our school district, and those students are supported by our partnership with Garden City Harvest, where they have access to farm visits through the Farm to School program, they have access to farmers in the classroom, and they have access to the support from Garden City Harvest with school gardens that exist across the community. Students are not only getting that curricular tie in terms of lessons in science or health curriculum or even social studies curriculum, they're also getting the opportunity to learn outside amongst the vegetables in the gardens that are created on their school sites.
We use farming as a form of therapy for teens who are labeled at risk. We put them to work farming at our sites, and we teach them job skills and life skills to help them transition effectively into young adulthood. Most of those kids come to us through youth drug court and the local youth homes, group homes.
Youth courts were founded over 100 years ago by judges who thought there ought to be a different system for young people as opposed to adults. We have a graduated sanction approach where we don't throw them in jail for every miscue. We try to involve community service. Driving around my car just like I am now, and I hear this interview with someone at the garden that said, geez, we'd like some volunteers to help us. And I said, give these people a ring. I said, we got a lot of kids. I think they would benefit from being involved in that program. Let's see if we can put something together.
We wouldn't be where we were today if there wasn't a really solid foundation that was established way back when.
Our department started partnering with Garden City Harvest around the mid-90s. We provide a lot of the land for the projects that Garden City Harvest can then carry out on some of these properties. And so it's a real good marriage of missions. We both focus a lot on health and wellness. We focus on reaching a wide range of our community.
If you're weeding alongside somebody in a field, or you're selling vegetables to someone at the mobile market, you have this community that really is connected in positive, healthy ways.
The program also takes produce and distributes it to rest homes. It's one of the more emotional parts of the program for me because they interact with these people. It gives them some tie back to the community. They're not just sitting out in these old folks' homes waiting to die. They have this stimulus from these young people.
We had one particular young man who actually came to our school board meetings. He was a student who had experienced some trouble with the law, some behavioral challenges at school, some challenges at home, and his experience on the farm changed his whole life. And he really came back to talk to us about how that impacted him and how that partnership with the community became so rich in his life.
A young woman that I met last week at the food bank, her first time there, and felt uncomfortable in that environment and felt really uncomfortable seeing me as a staff person and sort of working up the gumption to ask if we had any organic food. And so I was able to tell her about Garden City Harvest. It's grown 2 blocks from us, and here's how it's grown. We could look at the produce cooler together and identify, yeah, these carrots are from the grocery chain and they just didn't sell, and these are clearly not, and they're a different thing. So her ability to go through her produce cooler and get food that she was excited about eating was awesome to watch. It was awesome to watch her sort of light up at that thing that she had not expected.
We have young people who are lost in this community, and we have to try to find alternative places where they can, interact and make progress and feel safe.
We have a number of really solid partnerships in town, and through many of those partnerships we've had the opportunity to farm and garden at 20 different sites in the community. We've gotten really good at growing healthy, nutritious food and making it accessible to over 20,000 people a year in the community.
I think in reality, Garden City Harvest is just an essential element of Missoula. For everybody that lives here, I can't imagine not having Garden City Harvest and all the resources it provides.
It's very much integrated into my personal life as well as my professional life.
We're stronger together.